Hey guys, welcome to my next Halloween tutorial. This skull makeup is inspired by the magical worlds of Mr. Tim Burton. I mixed a bit of Jack and Sally with a little bit of the sandworm from Beetlejuice, so I hope you guys enjoy and let's get started with the makeup. After covering my eyebrows with a glue stick, I used a white eyeliner to sketch a very basic skull outline. Next, I concealed my eyebrows with an orange-based concealer, then I went ahead and set them with powder. You want those suckers to stay in place all evening. I based my skull out with a face paint. To get the color I wanted, I mixed a white and a turquoise body paint together. Once I was happy with that color, which is inspired by Sally, I filled in my outline. I was very careful not to get that paint too thick because it will crack on you and ruin your Halloween. With my trusty white eyeliner, I sketched rings around my neck where I wanted the sandworm to live. And yes, this sandworm is strangling me. But I named him Herman because I love him. So everybody say, hello, Herman. Next, I filled in the negative spaces around Herman with that same turquoise paint. To highlight the planes of the skull, I used a white cream and dabbed it on with a mini beauty sponge. Fingers also work really great for this. Moving on to Sally's stitches, I drew them in with a black body paint, and I didn't really follow Sally's stitches by any means. I just kind of let my brush make all of my decisions, which was okay. With the white cream again, I highlighted the edges of each stitch to make them appear raised. And I also shaded it a little bit with a teal eyeshadow underneath the white cream to further the illusion of raised stitches. Also with the teal eyeshadow, I plotted out the stitches using dots. I dipped a round brush into the shadow and placed it onto the skin and rotated the brush. Basically got a little circle of shadow. Next, I drew in Sally's stitches with the black paint. C's and X shapes work really well for stitches, just in case any of you guys out there were wondering. At this phase, it's time to start carving this pumpkin, and to do that, I'm going to be contouring the skull with a teal eyeshadow. I'm shading around the cheekbones and jaw. I'm also shading the neck, the bridge of the nose, and the temples, basically any area of the skull that needs shading. And if you want some more in-depth coverage of the shading, you can check out my skull series. I have quite an obsession with skulls and quite a few skull makeup tutorials, so check that out. To the eye sockets, I brought in a little Jack by shading his sad eye socket shape into the skull. Then I went ahead and filled in the negative spaces with black. With a fine detailed brush, I sketched in black lines in the blank space below the cheekbones. I like this little detail for some reason for skull makeups. I find myself doing it very often, but I like how it kind of gives it a very painterly feel. It's teeth time. I popped on a set of chompers using a white cream, then I shaded around those with the teal eyeshadow. But don't use nightshade though, that can be very, very deadly. I like to sketch in vertical lines that flow with the teeth, then I like to add a little further definition to the teeth. It's definitely a layering process in teeth land. Next, I outline the teeth with a black body paint. To my eyelids, which are also known as Crease City, I applied a black base, then a black eyeliner to my waterline. I basically want no flesh tones to be peeping through. Did you get that joke? Peeping through eyes? Huh? Not funny. I painted out the rest of my nose, then drew in new nose holes. I tried Jack's nose holes, but it was just it was a big no for me, so I went for a more vertical teardrop set. Whoever thought I'd be talking about nose holes on YouTube? It's time to give little Herman the misunderstood sandworm some love. I filled in his shape with a white face paint. Next, I shaded underneath his body with a black cream. This is really going to bring little Hermie to life and make him pop off the skin. Again with that black body paint, which is the star of this show, I drew in his vertical stripes. Unfortunately, the footage of me painting his precious little face was lost, but to recap, I painted on red eyes, green lips, and a whole lot of sharp little teeth, followed by a black outline. And the last step for Herman is to shade his underbelly with a gray eyeshadow. I did want to add some more depth around Herman, so I used a black eyeshadow and applied it to the darkest areas around his body. Those stitches, they need a little highlight, so I added those in using a white cream makeup. I also added highlight around the skull and mainly around the eyes, because the eyes are everything, darling. And also around the teeth. Teeth are good too. Since Sally likes a good lash, I added a bunch. I actually don't remember how many. I think in total I used 3 sets. So if you're looking for this, look into investing in some lashes. Oh, what's this? What's this? Oh, it's a little eyeshadow adhesive and a duochrome pigment. I added that to the center of my lid. I wanted it to look like it was glowing from beyond. And that, my little pumpkins, is a wrap on Sandworm Sally Jack, or Tim Burton's worst nightmare. Thanks for watching, and make sure to hit that like button. Let's see if we can get this video to 1,000 likes. Also, make sure to check out my other Halloween tutorials. I have a poison ivy. She's very luscious and green. There's also a creepy clown, which is just creepy. And lastly, I want to say happy Halloween. Everybody stay safe.